When did you first start playing goal?
Probably around 6th or 7th grade. They kind of just threw me in beforehand, and it was fun, and then I ended up being really good. So
they have a route.
Freeman loses that ball on the deflection. Very dangerous. Sontag is there to scoop it up.
Nice aggression by Sontag. She needed to take control of that, and she did exactly her job. Well done.
What's the biggest challenge for you as a keeper?
Mentally, it's definitely coming off of having a really bad game or not performing as well as I want to, because in the end it's down to if they score, it's a goal if I mess up. So.
Any goal, or I mean, does a single goal bug you that much?
Single goals bug me, but it's when I know that I could have done a lot more to actually save a goal. So.
Well, you have not had many of those this year. This has become a very good defensive team. What's the kind of key to that?
We've had a lot of good girls come in, and a lot of girls come and step up, and so I think the communication that we all have and the way that we all play for each other and play strong with a lot of heart just really helps.
You and the 4 backs in front of you obviously have to work very closely together. Can you tell me about that relationship a little bit?
A couple of the girls, you know, we've been talking a lot, we've been hanging out, and it's just been a really tight-knit group this year. We've come together a lot, we've played for each other, some of us now for 3 years plus now, so it's just been very good.
Do you have to boss them around a little bit?
Sometimes,
Do they handle that well?
You know, we keep each other in check, and so if one of us isn't playing up to par and we know that one of us can do better, like, we'll tell each other just straight up, hey, start playing.
Well, you talked about this a little bit a moment ago, but what is a bad game for you?
Bad game for me, when I'm not communicating as much as I would like with the team, or I'm just not at the top of my game, you know, letting a goal in or two when I shouldn't be. So, just little things.
Does that go back to the mental side? Do you have sometimes a bad mental game?
Yeah, sometimes. Usually, though, the team will see it and pick me up, which is really good, and it's really a great feeling when they come and pick you up. So.
Any other tricks you play on yourself to stay in it mentally? Because when the ball's at the other side, I imagine that's pretty tough. Yeah,
I mean, it's great when you don't have to do anything, but it is kind of frustrating, especially when we had our game against Southern Indiana, I believe, this past weekend, and it was just a downpour. It was more so of just keeping everything in check, making sure the defense was doing everything that they could, so I didn't have to touch the ball, which was, in the end, kind of stunk, but it was still good.
People watch soccer and they see a goal go in, and that may be the time you get noticed, that and making a great save, but what's the thing people don't know about goalkeeping that they maybe should know?
As many of my goalkeeper coaches have said in the past, we're kind of like the quarterbacks. I mean, sometimes we make really great plays, or we may goof up a bit, but we actually kind of hold everything together. We see the play as it's forming. We see everything from a different perspective than everybody else. So.
I hope you don't take offense to this, but you're not the tallest keeper I've ever seen in the world. How do you, I mean, the crossbar is 8 feet. It's going to always be 8 feet. Right. You're always going to be your size. How do you cover that upper 90 or even just straight above you?
It's been difficult. I was never really good at it, but this past year I've been working a lot on just dropping back a little bit more, and instead of trying to be as big as possible, trying to cover more instead. So I am studying elementary education, and I'm also part of the Acton major as well, so double majoring with that. I'm very interested in 4th and 5th grade. I feel that they've got a lot to give. And
are you going to specialize in any academic area, math, science, or anything?
I am currently in science, so.
All right. Where did you get that desire to be an elementary teacher?
Well, it didn't start as well as I had planned. I actually started off as a biochemistry major here at Jewell, and then as I got more and more into it, I realized that that's not exactly what I was passionate for. I was more passionate about teaching the sciences and being with students and helping them learn and helping them grow. So,
do you have a kind of a role model or mentor, somebody that was special to you?
I'd like to say that, like, my parents were role models for me. My mom has been in the sort of field of education for a while, more of the administrative side rather than the actual teaching. So I've seen both sides, and then my dad's just been a huge help in me trying to be there and be the best that I can be and show me how to do that.
Kelli, what does he do for a living?
He is VP in IT management over at State Street. Okay. And so I've learned a lot from him, just both on the information technology side as well. So.
I would guess they're big soccer fans, especially of the keeper for Jewell, right?
Oh yes, they are. They come to almost every one of my games, so it's been a huge blessing for them to be able to come out to see all my games.
Any brothers or sisters?
Yeah, I have one younger sister. She's studying, I think now she is, chemistry engineering maybe? I don't know, something like that, at Iowa State. So she's studying engineering. She's loving it, so.
You talked about elementary education. What else would you like to do in your life? Do you have hobbies? Do you have anything else that's near and dear to your heart?
I just love the outdoors. One thing that I've done this past summer was I was a camp counselor at Heartland Presbyterian Center, and I was just playing with little kids, just being there with them, and that was a huge treat for me. In the future, I'd like to either do Peace Corps or Teach for America, just get out of my shell a little bit and go somewhere and make a difference.
You love being in the outdoors, and you have some time when you're playing soccer to kind of look around a little bit, but in the rain in southern Indiana, cold weather, does that affect you?
It definitely has a bit of a damper on the feeling of the game, but I mean, after we had scored 4 or 5 goals, I was pretty pumped. Yeah. Although the speed of play actually slows down a lot, and the bounce just is horrible, so I always have to make sure to get behind the ball.
How far do you see this team going? You're currently, like you said, 18th in the nation. Where do you see this season ending up? Where do you hope it ends up?
I hope it ends up at the NCAA tournament. I hope we go as far as we can there. I think I have high hopes for this team.